Nah, bro. Come on, man. This is for real. All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 3. Oh, my God. We're already 3 episodes into this thing.
This is the last episode, by the way.
You say that every time.
Well, it's because I'm trying to make it the last episode, man. Catch the hint, dummy.
Okay. Welcome back to episode number 3. We're learning. We're slowly learning how to do this. We run into what's it called? We run into technical difficulties every now and again, but I think with each episode our quality should be getting better.
What a way to start the podcast, being like, we screwed up.
Well, we didn't really screw up.
None of you noticed.
No, we didn't really screw up. Everybody noticed.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we're gonna be trying to make this better. I don't know if anybody even noticed anything wrong with the last episode. Not that there was anything like.
Well, there was
damaging.
something really wrong with it. I don't know if you
were
noticed
on
it.
Yeah,
Dude,
you were
stole
on
the
it. Dude,
joke.
You stole the joke.
Man,
No, I was just about to make that joke, and then you made it.
didn't
Easily, man. So we got a lot to talk about today. Most of it's going to be in the second part. I think the second part I was going to say should be longer, but I realized regardless it's 30 minutes. So, yeah, today we're going to be talking about probably this first half is going to be, I guess, PlayStation Premium just got released the other week, and so that means some new games coming out. I'm trying to get my fucking phone out. So that means some new games have been released to replay and not remastered, but we could play it on the PS5, so we may talk about some of those games. And then, of course, the topic that everybody wants to hear about, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the finale and our thoughts and the entire season, but we'll get into that in the second half.
maybe.
Or we just end it now.
I say we just.
I'm down to run long.
Let's run long.
I'm down to run long.
Let's run long.
Let's run long. So play. Come on, man. I don't have time for this.
What are we doing? Are we saying a prayer?
So first we start every episode by saying a prayer, dude. No, but let's actually talk about that. Christianity, dude. Oh, no. Nah, not this episode.
Nah, we're talking about our good buddy. He's Christian.
Christian. Hey, man. Not even sure if Christian listens to this. He's up in Muskoka, dude.
I don't even know who we're talking about.
Well, shout out to Christian. I don't know if he's listening, but that was...
I don't know who you are.
What an interesting shout out. You know him, dude. He's a tall blonde. I can't say what I was about to say, but...
I don't know who this is, but
he's
shout
tall,
out.
blonde, blue eyes.
Oh.
Well, what does that mean? Like, if you have blonde hair, blue eyes, what does
It means that you're chilling, I
It
think.
means you're a good person, or...
Anywho.
So, Christian's a good guy, obviously. That's not what I meant. He's not a skinhead. Anyways. Oh, no. What are you doing?
Okay, so demonetized.
Demonetized immediately. So, PlayStation Premium, dude. I guess we're just going to jump into it. Not much of an intro, but PlayStation Premium, I haven't got it yet, but I know that I want to.
PlayStation Premium, we're going to review it. I haven't got it.
I haven't played it. Review. That's the review.
Well, so you work for IGN, basically.
No, but I didn't get any money.
No, there was
That's
this
the
one.
difference.
There was this one. I can't remember what game it was for. It's in one of. I think it's in. Oh my God, I can't even remember what game it was. I think it was Crash Bandicoot when they remastered it.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot Williamson.
Crash.
Okay.
No, man.
So
I'm trying to make the joke, but I can't. My body won't let me.
My body won't let me.
My body won't let me.
No, IGN put out their review of the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, and the reviewer, I think in like the first line of the review was like, I didn't finish the game, but...
Oh! But the game was a good ending.
No, he was just like, I didn't really like the game, but I didn't finish it, so... Dude, you're a video games journalist.
You're figuring it out.
That
was Rory, bro.
I don't think it was Rory.
It definitely was.
But, man, IGN is so butt cheeks. So shout out
IGN is fucking buns, bro.
Shout out IGN if you're listening.
They're like the Rotten Tomatoes of gaming.
Yeah, well, I was telling you this.
Can't trust a bad review. Can't trust a good review.
When Gran Turismo 9, I think, is the last one that came out. When that came out,
why are there 9 of those, bro?
I was watching XQC play the game, and UI terrible.
Yep.
Game looked really boring. And
Well, what else are you gonna do other than
I
driving
watched
it,
like
man?
30 minutes of the game, and I'm like, I guarantee you IGN gave this a 9 out of 10. Sure enough,
9.9.
9 out of 10. IGN, the creators of the 9 out of 10 review.
Have they given any 10s? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yes, they've given many 10s. I think there was a Call of Duty, I think, that got a 10.
Black Ops 2?
No, I think
If
they
it
gave
wasn't
Advanced
Black Ops
Warfare
2
10.
Oh!
They gave they gave Last of Us Part 2 a 10, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it was really
Okay,
good.
what about Last of Us Part 1? What did they give it?
7.
They gave Destiny 1 a 7 too, and
I'm
that
kidding.
game was a 10.
They probably gave Last of Us
Oh.
a 10.
Destiny 1 was a 7, and that game was a 10, in my opinion. That game...
Well, it's a 10 and a
bro.
10.
Well, it's a 12 and a 12, but that game was...
Man, Destiny 1.
I think Destiny
What a
1 is
throwback.
arguably like... So, okay, if I were to rank my video games,
Rank
I would say Twilight Princess, of course, but Legend of Zelda is
Twilight
number
Princess
one.
is your number one game of all time.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
And then I would say after Legend of Zelda as a whole, it goes Call of Duty, more specifically Black Ops 2. And I'm not kidding. Some of the greatest games
This
ever
podcast
created.
is like actually
And
over.
then number 3 is probably Destiny.
Oh my gosh. This guy's top
I'm a
3,
multiplayer
bro.
dude. I'm a multiplayer, bro. I'm a multiplayer kind of dude.
This guy really just said my top 3 video games of all time were Twilight Princess, reasonable.
Okay.
Call of Duty,
Black Ops 2, yeah.
and Destiny.
Yeah. We all just heard that, man. Why are you...
Well, in case there's
case they weren't listening.
In case there's hearing impaired.
In case they weren't
listeners.
listening.
Yeah. In case they got.
Yeah. I would say,
They have your mic on mute.
Oh, they have my... it's because I'm only coming out of the right ear and they only have one
And they
podcast
only have one
going.
ear, and it's their left ear.
Yeah. And, they're listening to episode 2. That's why.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Go and check out episode 2 if you haven't already.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking
After this
about any of that.
episode.
I'm not joking about any of that.
I don't think you are, which is what's concerning.
But it's like music, man.
You just
Like,
burped right into the mic.
but it's like music, man. Like, why? It's subjective. All of it is subjective.
That's fair. Man,
I like what I like. World of Warcraft, also up. World of Warcraft, like, as a whole game, as every single expansion combined, not like what WoW is now, assuming that you've beat everything up to the most recent expansion, is also a goated game. Like, that's also easily... I
Never
might even
played
put
it.
that top 5, dude. I grinded that for months.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
That.
And
I remember that phase.
I would still be playing... Oh, not a phase. I would still be playing if the game was good.
World of Warcraft is not a phase, guys.
And it can't be a phase. That's the thing. It has to be your life, bro. And then... Ideally, I'm pretty sure the new expansion is coming out this year is what was rumored, but still no release date. All they said was this year, which bad, easily going to be rushed, immediately bad.
My number one game is probably Gran Turismo 9.
Didn't ask you. And when that expansion comes out, I will be maybe buying it and maybe resubbing. That's the stupid thing, man. You got to buy each expansion $70. You gotta buy WoW.
Well, it's
$20 a month,
it's
man.
because Blizzard has to be able to fund their legal team,
Yes,
dude.
it's being used
Because
at
they're
all times.
they're constantly abusing their employees.
They're constantly abusing their legal stuff.
I mean,
Their
maybe
legal stuff.
maybe.
No, abusing them like with way too much work. They're getting
No,
overwhelmed.
sexually abusing. Oh, their legal team.
Oh, both.
I was talking about Blizzard as a whole company.
No, I know. I'm saying their legal team they're abusing with the amount of work, and their team they're abusing with the sexualities.
Yeah, Blizzard's not a good
Sexualities.
company.
But we'll get more into that in 2 minutes.
And neither is, yeah.
Okay, this is actually a good question. We won't talk about copyright premium. What would you say is your favorite video games of all time? Give me your top 3, because I gave my top 3, so now you give your top 3.
Number one, I'm giving it.
Giving it?
No, that's my number one game.
That was a pretty good game. I think
My number
IGN
one-
gave it a...
My number one game
2.
is I Am Bread.
IGN gave that one a 10, bro.
No, my number one game of all time is probably Uncharted 4.
Okay. Really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, I've played a lot of that game. And then it just sort of becomes
And then
interesting.
it just sort of ends.
And then that's it. That's the only game I've ever
That's
played.
the list.
I will put Uncharted 4 at the top with Uncharted 2 as an honorable mention as like because I don't want to put two Uncharted games in like the top 3.
I rate that.
I mean, Last of Us Part 1 probably is
You're a
number
Naughty
2.
Dog type of guy.
I guess so.
All right. I mean, they make good games.
And number 3 is probably OG Battlefront 2.
Okay.
A little bit of a different top 3 than yours, but
I would agree that all of those video games, actually Last of Us, what'd you say, Part 2?
Part 1.
Part 1. I don't actually think that I played that entire game, so I'm going to give it a rating here.
Ethan's
9 out of 10.
And boom.
And hired at IGN
You're hired.
easily. That's all you had to do was rate a game you don't know about. You never heard rate a game you never even heard of.
You also have to say that the game makes you feel like Joel.
Mikhail.
Yes. Last of Us Part 1, after I played, I was like, man, I really feel like Joel McHale right now.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I do feel that.
If you play Fortnite and Joel McHale is speaking, don't cut him off. Whatever you do, your game will crash.
Your game crashes because they had that in the contract.
They had in the contract, yeah. If you cut off Joel McHale, your whole game crashes and your whole platform dies.
Okay, let's debrief your top. Let's debrief your top 3 now.
Okay.
So Uncharted 4 was, I think, rated 2
Oh my god.
out of 20.
Oh!
No, I really like that game. Good game.
The whole
Really good game.
All the Uncharted
All the
games
Uncharted are
great.
well. The first one is good,
The
but
first one is good, but it has its flaws. But
the jet ski
The
going
jet
on
ski.
upriver is the worst part of the game.
I mean, I've
easily.
played Uncharted 1 maybe a dozen times. Like, it's kind of weird to say that I've played one game like 12. It may even be more than that. Like, I genuinely
That's like me in Ocarina of Time. I think I've played that game about 5 times.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I've played all the Uncharted games easily 10 times.
Yeah.
Each, which
Same.
is sort of strange. Maybe not Uncharted 4 because it has been out more recently, but I've definitely played Uncharted 4 at least 6 times.
Wow. All right. I think I've only played it once.
Well, it came out in 2015, I think, and I've played it once a year. So I've played it
Uncharted
maybe 7
4.
times.
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Uncharted 4 came out in 2022.
I usually play those games like once a year.
Like on the same day every year, you're like, all right, this is my annual time to
This
play.
is my day.
It just happens.
It just happens. Like
This is your day. You beat it in a day. Oh,
I have beat Uncharted 1 in one day.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I have.
No,
I
you
beat
didn't.
it in one sitting.
No, you didn't. I was there.
Man, it's not that long.
No, you didn't. It's not that big of a deal. It's quarantine, bitch.
It's only like a 7-hour game, or it's not. The first one's not that
don't
long.
you have a job, man? Don't you have
Not
friends,
recently,
man?
and
Not
no.
now.
And no.
You quit. Why'd you quit, dude?
No, I mean, I don't have friends.
Oh, dude, come on. I can make you some.
I don't want any.
Also, by the time you're seeing this, it's my birthday. Well, it was yesterday, so wish me
No
happy
one
birthday,
cares.
guys. Please. Come on, man.
Turning 15.
Turning
man.
22. I'm turning 22.
I love that song by J. Rock.
I love that song by Uncharted. So, Uncharted 4, okay. I rate that top game of all time. I could see it in my top 10. Last of Us Part 2.
Well, part 1.
Last of Us Part 2, played it. No, Last of Us Part 1, never played
Have
it.
you ever
so
have you
can't
even
say.
played part 2?
I didn't even play Part 1, dude.
You should definitely play them.
Think about
Thinking?
thinking. No, I don't have time for this. No. What's it called? What was the third game?
Oh, the OG Battlefront 2?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I would put that in the top 10. I'm just thinking like if I could go back in time,
Like, if I only had 3 games
any
to play.
game when it was in their prime, Black Ops 2 was goated. Destiny 1 in its prime, goated. And I mean, Twilight Princess doesn't have a prime because it's just like you can play whenever you want and enjoy it. But like those, I'm more of a multiplayer kind of guy. WoW in its prime, I unfortunately never played it, but I hear good things, and I would like to play it in its prime one day.
And I'd like to play it.
I just don't have enough room on my SSD.
Have you ever got the Leroy Jenkins level?
No, I try to figure out, because what you can do
is there a rank? Do they reference Leroy Jenkins at all?
No, I was just about to explain it, and you just interrupted me, dude.
Well, do they?
Well, say it, bro. Tell us what's up.
Spit it out.
So the level that Leroy Jenkins does what he does, you can go to that level, or like the dungeon is what it's called. I don't remember what dungeon it is, but
I think it's a chicken dungeon.
I think it's chicken burger dungeon,
Yeah.
or chocolate.
I think it's the chocolate.
I think it's that
Steve.
chocolate burger. Oh.
And everyone's
No.
unsubbed.
Everyone's
resubbed.
muted. Everyone unmuted.
Everyone unmuted. You unmuted their mics by cursing them.
What's it called? So,
My God.
man, stop burping, dude.
Third time, man. I gotta stop burping.
I just burped again, dude. Stop burping, bro.
At least you're not chewing gum and burping. No way, dude. Stop, man.
Sorry, apologies. Mute
Cancel.
it for that part. Mute it for that part. And then now you're unmuting it.
Go back and mute,
That
and now
was like-
unmute it.
I was watching the Sugar Pine 7 podcast, and they said some spoiler. I was about the Lightyear. It was about Buzz Lightyear, the movie. And kid was like, "All right, quickly a spoiler. All right, guys, everybody, if you want a spoiler, mute it now." And then he says the spoiler. He's like, "All right, now unmute it." And they were like, easily they just keep it muted the rest of the podcast. It's muted, man. How are they gonna hear you say to unmute it?
Mute it. Imagine you're watching or listening to a podcast. The host goes, "Mute it." You're like, "Okay." You mute it, and then you just don't unmute it.
All right, now unmute
You're like,
it.
"When am I supposed to?"
Tell
Unmute
me.
it. Tell me, but I can't hear. I'm deaf.
No, okay, back to Leroy Jenkins. You can go to that thing, and basically what he does is
does he do?
in one of the rooms. In one of the rooms, there's like a bunch of eggs that if you step on them, it releases a bunch of enemies. So what he did was he ran into the room and stepped on all the eggs, and all the enemies came and they killed the team. If you go and do that, you get like a title that says Jenkins. And titles, for anybody that is wondering, is just like you do an achievement, you get like a little title, like Jenkins, for example, or like the Mighty or Dream Catcher. And then you can select, you collect them and you can select them, and so it adds it onto your name. So if my character's name is Cogarm, you can have Cogarm the Mighty, or like Cogarm the
Cogarm
Dreamer,
Jenkins.
or Cogarm Jenkins. So anyways, yeah.
Leroy Jenkins was the original chicken,
Okay, moving right along, man.
because he does all that. He goes, "It's not my fault."
It was exactly your
Leroy,
fault.
you are stupid as hell. And then he goes, "At least I have chicken." And the video ends.
At least I had chocolate
At least
burgers.
Oh my god,
God,
he's
I'm
dying.
dying. Jinx, you owe me $50.
Okay.
Jinx, give me a kiss. We just kissed live on the podcast, guys. Go check out the video portion of it, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Really helps the algorithm.
Really does help the channel grow.
It actually doesn't help the algorithm at all, because you want to know what I realized about YouTube and its
It
algorithm?
actually doesn't help the algorithm.
It doesn't
at
help
all.
the algorithm, because you want to know on YouTube, when you post a video, you get views.
It goes live.
Goes live. Well, there's nothing more to say about it. No, when you post a video, you can go into the analytics, and on the video, there's like three main measurements, three main analytics that it shows you. So it's views, obviously, and then it's impression click-through rate. So an impression would be like
If someone scrolls,
if it shows up on someone's home screen, and then the click-through rate is obviously you see it and you click through it. What's the percentage of people who see it and click through compared to people who see it and don't click through? For anybody at home.
100%.
Of course, you know that
100%
obviously.
not click-through rate for any of Ethan's videos, but go on.
Click-through rate for all my videos are 100%. But my click-through rate, so there's the views, the impression click. Come on, man. The impression click-through rate, and then there's average view duration. It's like audience retention, right? Obviously, all very important things. So my views are okay. They're not great, but considering they're not bad, I'm kind of happy with where they are currently. Then underneath, and what it does is it'll tell you, like, it'll give you a range of what you typically get and what's good compared to, I don't know, YouTube in general, right? Mm-hmm. So my views are usually in the typical what I usually get. And then my impression click-through rate will have a check mark next to it, and it's like, dude, a lot of people that are getting impressed of your video are clicking through it.
People are impressed.
A lot of people are impressed, dude. They're letting us know.
Susan Wojcinski,
but like
very
impressed. They're like, the impression click-through rate is very high compared to the average YouTube, which is good. And I'm like, that's sick. And then, so that means that people aren't seeing it and not clicking on it. It means that a good amount of people are seeing it and clicking on it, right? So it's not a bad thumbnail and title. And then underneath, it's like average view duration is another green check mark. It's like, dude, the average view duration on a 10-minute video is like 5 minutes long, which is crazy. And so I'm like, okay, so everybody,
so put me on trending page.
So everybody who's seeing my video, not everybody, a good amount of people who are seeing my video are clicking through it, and those who do watch it are staying for around 50%, more than over around 50% of the video. And yet, YouTube doesn't fucking push my video.
How did we go from Leroy Jenkins to talking about your back-end analytics?
Because you said chicken burger, and then I started talking about analytics, bro. Remember?
But anyways, PlayStation Plus Premium.
Didn't buy it. Moving on.
I did get it, and it's all right.
Yeah, there's a few games that I want to play, naming them.
The main one that I'm...
Infamous, naming them. Infamous,
yeah,
Infamous
they basically
2,
just
naming them. Arkham Origins, Chicken Burgers, Force Unleashed 2.
They basically just took all the games that were on PlayStation Now and moved those over, added like 2 PlayStation 1 games and then a few PlayStation 5 games. So those are really the only ones that I really want to play are like Guardians of the Galaxy, and on the opposite end of the spectrum, the Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue game.
Yeah, I'll play that game.
The only omission that I am genuinely sort of frustrated and upset about is the Twisted Metal games.
Tell us why.
Because I'm crying.
No, not that you're sad. Tell us why you're sad, man. Come on.
Because I'm crying. No, those games are great. I was considering putting Twisted Metal 4 ahead of Black Ops 2.
God.
Battlefront 2. But no, I think Battlefront 2 is a better time. Twisted Metal 4 is one of my favorite games ever. It would definitely be in my top 10. Okay. But I was especially frustrated because those games are owned by Sony. So they might just be trial running. They might just be trial running the old games this first go around, and I don't know how often they're going to be adding games. But I would say that if you already have PlayStation Plus, just upgrade it. It's like $50. It's not that much
for the year. Yeah, all you have to do is
the
play
rest
like
of the year
2 games and you made your money back. It's like the season's pass at Canada's Wonderland. You go twice and you made your money back.
Exactly. And games these days are stupid expensive, man. $100 for one game. That's just crazy.
They're stupid, period, bro.
Video games are stupid, guys. I'm done.
Video games are stupid, period.
I'm done.
Well, I do find myself the only enjoyment that I can get out of video games nowadays is replaying old games.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's a strange. Well, I've just like become so used to just playing games that I'm comfortable with that when you do play a game that's new for the first time, it is sort of an interesting comparison to be like, wow, I actually know nothing about this game. Like when I played Cyberpunk, I was not impressed at all.
But that's not because it was a new game. That's just because it was bad.
But when I played The Witcher, I had a lot of fun with that game, and like
right,
it is fun, and I think it's something that if you get in the habit of just replaying games that you are comfortable with, it's a factor about playing a new game that you sort of forget about.
Yeah,
is the experiencing a game for the first time.
Yeah.
Whether that be good or bad, like even just with The Witcher 3 and with Cyberpunk, like experiencing The Witcher 3 had its frustrating moments, but like I easily put in over 100 hours over the course of like playing that.
Right.
Cyberpunk, total opposite. Cyberpunk, I think there's like 5 main story missions. I think to every story mission, there were
Wow.
like 10 side missions that I did,
Wow.
which is
That's
ridiculous.
a great game.
Cyberpunk is not a good game. If you're on the fence about it, don't buy it. Wait till it's free. I bought it when it was like.
Is it going to be free?
Well, I'm hoping that they. Well, I already bought it, so it doesn't matter at this point. But I bought it when it was like 60% off. It was only like $30. So I didn't. That's why I didn't feel too bad about not enjoying it. I played it all the way through. Mm-hmm. If it was free, I probably wouldn't have finished it. But if I buy a game, I'm like, I'm gonna play it. Like I want to play it all the way through at least.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think that it just came out, right? Like it came out.
That's not an excuse.
10 days. I'm not talking about Cyberpunk. I'm talking about Premium.
Oh,
it came out 10 days ago. I hope that they are adding games on a somewhat frequent basis, even if it's every month. I think that just to like keep it fresh, like Game Pass is where it's at. Like as much as I don't like Xbox or Microsoft, Xbox Game Pass is legit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The main difference between Game Pass and between Premium is that Game Pass will add new titles fresh at launch onto Game Pass.
Yeah.
And Sony has said that they're not going to do that. But the reason why Sony won't be doing it is because they're afraid. Money, but also they're afraid that giving games away like that for free will negatively affect studios. How they he killed it.
Sorry, guys. I saw that in the distance of the corner of my eye. I thought it was an ant, and upon getting closer, it was actually a spider, but I was...
killed it with his hand.
Hope it's dead.
Bare hand.
Nowhere to be seen. Not on my finger, not on my leg.
I think I see its corpse on the ground over there.
Oh, yeah, on the edge of the carpet. Sorry, guys.
But, totally just interrupted what I was saying. Thanks a lot, jerk.
No problem. Sorry, it was walking on my PS5. No one damn touched my PS5 here, bro.
But yes, anyways, whatever I was saying... PlayStation Plus Premium, what I was saying is they think it'll negatively affect the like budgeting that goes into games,
right?
Because they'll be giving it away for free.
So they're going to be putting less effort into the games.
But if you look at how that's affected Xbox exclusives are almost non-existent. And right. I would rather pay $100 for Insomniac to make a stellar Spider-Man and Wolverine game. I would rather just pay for those games for them to be exceptional than have them for free and just be like, well, this was underwhelming.
100% agree. Yeah. So I think we're going to end the first half of the podcast there. Next part, we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi and the finale and everything that came along with that. So
spoiler talk as well, by the way.
Make sure you guys stick around. Let me get to the spoiler.
Make sure you also stick around, even if you haven't seen it.
Just
have it spoiled for you.
Just wait. Let me saying the spoiler right now. Just kidding, guys. I wouldn't do that.
Just kidding. And mute your volume.
Mute your volume. Saying it. All right. Unmute. And
then you say the spoiler.
And then I say the spoiler. But no. Seriously, guys.
We're being
serious, though.
This is a serious bum.
I'm stalling, bro. I'm stalling because I'm trying to get back to my train of thought. So I'm stalling. No, we're gonna jump into the second half. We're gonna be talking about Kenobi. So stick around for that. And see y'all in a bit.
Thanks for inviting me back on the show.
Welcome back to the show, Patrick, and part number 2 here on the O.S.I. We didn't even do our intro. I realized. Welcome back to the O.S.I. podcast.
We didn't even say the name,
but of course stands for our shared interest. Because it's a podcast where we talk about, of course, our shared interests. Patrick, how's it going?
And welcome.
Oh no, we're not starting over, man.
Yeah, well, if you clicked on the video, the title's there. So
the title,
you should hopefully know what you're listening to.
If you clicked on the Spotify, the title's also there, man. Come on, easily.
So welcome
to part number 2, second half, where we talk about the one, the only.
Boba Fett.
Mandalorian episode 1. What are our thoughts? Where do we think this is going to go?
I think Yoda's pretty cool.
I think Yoda's... He's not even in the first episode, man.
Sure he is. There's actually no shot that you're still burping in part 2.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Let's talk about PlayStation Plus.
Let's talk
what
about
do you think about it?
I think it's bad.
Okay. So Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, dude. Wow. What a phenomenal finale.
What a show.
What a good show, dude.
Now, before we get going here, I have a message to all of the Star Wars fans. And it's very simple. Are you listening?
Fuck off.
You stole my message, dude.
No, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were actually going to say something.
No, that's exactly just what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to say
But
that.
it's okay. I can't get in trouble now. You're the one that swore.
Okay, say it. Say it.
Eat my cheeks. Like, actually, like gobble on these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you eat our asses like cupcakes on your birthday.
So many people were complaining the whole ride, and I almost I don't like to gatekeep because the whole part of the problem with Star Wars fans is that they are major gatekeepers and incels, and don't know what color grass. They don't even know what color grass is. They don't even know how to.
They don't know what color grass is. I don't know what color grass is.
So, and we're doing the podcast actually.
We're doing
with
the
Ethan's
podcast.
next door neighbor,
Tristan.
But anywho, yeah. So that's our thoughts on the show. No, I don't want to gatekeep people having a good time and people enjoying stuff. So I implore all of you to go and watch Obi-Wan. If you haven't yet, you might not want to listen to this half of the podcast unless you don't care about spoilers.
But just listen to it on mute so we have the audience retention.
Yes,
still high.
please. Just turn it down. Let the video play out. But I don't think that Star Wars fans should be allowed to enjoy the finale of the show or anything in life.
Yeah, I can definitely see what you mean by that. They just complain, and then it's good. They're like, oh my God, that was so good, bro.
So
I'm
good.
so glad I got to
like,
experience
no.
that. Like, no, you don't deserve that finale,
And I'm not saying that everyone has to like everything. I don't care if you didn't like Obi-Wan. That's fine. Like, some people are going to like Obi-Wan. Some people aren't. Some people are going to like The Last Jedi. A lot of people aren't. I've liked every single thing Star Wars I've liked. Solo, I liked.
Haven't seen it yet.
You've never seen Solo?
Not yet. It's on Disney Plus, so I'm going to watch it.
I would watch it. But again, if you don't like Solo, you don't like Solo. I don't expect everyone to like every single movie. But, like, the problem with Star Wars fans... And again, we keep saying fans because these people consider themselves Star Wars fans, when in actuality, they aren't.
They don't like anything Star Wars that comes out.
If all you like in Star Wars is A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and you hate everything else, I hate to break it to you, bro.
You don't like Star Wars, man.
You don't like Star Wars.
Simple as that, and that's okay, bro.
That is okay. But don't ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Don't
be racist and be an incel on the internet, dude. Easily
did I hate the character Rose? Yes.
Yes.
But I'm not going to send
Did I go on Twitter and DM her saying good job? Yes.
Star Wars fans, the Star Wars fandom, the culture around Star Wars fandom has single-handedly, it's almost like every Star Wars fan's main mission is to never get any more Star Wars ever again, because every single time we get something new, all they do is complain, and all they do is just ruin the people who were in them. John Boyega is like, I'm never doing Star Wars again. Oscar Isaac is like, I'm never doing Star Wars again. Daisy Ridley is like, I'm never doing Star Wars ever again.
Don't blame her.
Every single person who was in the sequel series,
what about
Star Wars is ruined for them.
What about Adam Driver? What did he say?
He said, I'm doing it again.
Okay. But fuck, he's dead though. No.
Yeah. So when I look at how I sort of, and we'll get into Obi-Wan shortly, when I look at how I view Star Wars, I like everything.
Yeah.
And I'm also not just terribly racist.
Well, more on that later, but I would say the only thing that I didn't really like was Rogue One, but
even I didn't necessarily
I didn't hate it to the point where I was going to DM whatever that woman's name is and just bash her, dude. First off, wasn't her fault, just bad writing. It was just kind of boring. Like, it wasn't necessarily like bad. It just wasn't anything special in my opinion, but
I didn't really like Rogue One the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I liked it a little bit more. But I mean, the Darth Vader scene at the end is worth
I
the
mean,
price
yeah,
of admission. So.
that part was goated.
And
But I saw a TikTok that was like top 3 Star Wars, and the dude had Revenge of the Sith, Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith Strikes Back, Empire Strikes Back, and Rogue One, dude. Come on, man. It's not the third best.
It is interesting when I see people rank it that high, but again, like I'm not gonna knock someone for liking one Star Wars movie or the other. Like,
No, I definitely didn't
Sith-
comment telling him to end his delete his TikTok.
Like, yeah, I mean, if we don't need to rank our Star Wars movies, but
No, we don't have to.
it's like I enjoy all of them, and like Attack of the Clones, for example, that's a stupid ass movie, but I still enjoy watching it.
I think Phantom Menace
I'm not
is
like, oh, that
maybe worse.
movie. I'm not saying like, oh, the prequels ruined the. I'm like, no, they.
No,
Bro,
they
what
didn't,
do you-
man.
what
It
do you
gave it
mean?
context, made it better, man, easily.
And also the memes,
Unlimited.
like Revenge of the Sith. Anytime I've heard people say like Revenge of the Sith just isn't Star Wars, and I'm like, what do you?
Then what the
that's
fuck
the
is it,
most,
bro?
That's the most Star
It
Wars
is.
movie. Of
No,
them
but it
all.
is Star Wars. It's Star Wars
Right.
Revenge of the Sith.
When
It's
people
episode
say, like,
number 3 in the series.
The Last
dude.
Jedi just wasn't Star Wars. I'm like,
No, it was, bro. It was episode 8.
Remember when it was in the series?
Remember when it was in the series and it was titled Star Wars and there were lightsabers and
People,
that's
like,
the other thing that
I just don't understand why.
Here's the one thing that I don't necessarily dislike. I just find like a little immersion breaking is the Force and the concept of the Force and like how
The Force just doesn't fit in the Star Wars universe.
it just
you know?
doesn't.
It feels forced.
But like it feels
No
so
pun
unrealistic.
intended. It is very unrealistic.
No, but I'm saying like
the worst part of Star Wars is the Force.
the Force. I would say
Ethan is of course joking.
Uh, no. I would say I'm not joking. I just think I phrased it poorly, so I phrased it well. The Force is like a little bit overpowered. Like it's not. There's a lot of inconsistencies with it, and it's like the Force is kind of like a continuity error as a whole, in the sense of what you can do with the Force and what they don't use the Force for. So, like, for example,
I know, but then when you look too much into that, then it's just like if they just used it to snap everyone's neck, then we wouldn't really have a
but
fun
like that's
story.
what I'm saying. Of course not, but I'm saying like you could do that. Like I was saying, like here come the actual spoilers. So in the Obi-Wan, in the Kenobi, unmute now. In the Kenobi season finale, when the third sister is fighting Luke's parents, and she's struggling. First off, Owen is fighting her with a metal like rod, and I'm like, you have a lightsaber, easily cut through it, dude, and cut through him.
Well, they're
at the
fighting
same
her with the
time.
blicky as
And
well.
then at the same time, I was like, when she's like getting hit by him, and he doesn't have the gun anymore, and he's just hitting her with the stick, easily die. and then when she goes into the next room, and the wife or like the mom is there, and it hits her. Okay, I understand. Obviously, you got caught off guard. Immediately die. Like dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I do
why
know
doesn't
what
she
you-
do that? Why does she force them out of the way? Why doesn't she just go and dead, easily dead? And same with, I mean, you could. I mean, if you really wanted to nitpick it, I guess you could. But like,
But here's the thing about
oh no,
nitpicking.
it's because it's on. Like one funny thing that I saw was in that second last episode when Vader stops the ship. And then the second one goes away. It's because his Force was on cooldown, bro.
It's on cooldown, man.
Yeah,
That's what
bro.
people don't understand is
The Force is
he
on
hasn't
cooldown.
upgraded his
And then
his
it's like,
cooldown.
when I think it happens when Vader and Obi-Wan are fighting as well. But I know it definitely happens when Vader's
finale?
fighting. Yeah, and when Vader's fighting the third sister, and he Force stops her lightsaber. Nobody ever did that one time in the whole ever until right then.
Rise of Skywalker, it happens.
Did it?
Yeah.
Still though, I feel like it could have been really helpful if people
I
would
know.
just be like, and no.
Oh no, they don't do it in. Well, that's the thing is.
You're hitting me? Stop.
Well, here's the thing is every time something new Star Wars comes out, they introduce or they try to introduce something new about the Force. So, sure, you could view that as like weirdly retconny and like why didn't they do this before? Like
Yeah.
like Kylo Ren being able to stop a blaster shot in midair. Like,
yeah, like
didn't
why do they
anyone
always
do that
block and they just
before?
go and die?
Like Rise of Skywalker had Force healing, which we had never seen
But that was different because
except for in the episode of The Mandalorian that came out the same day, I think, as Rise of Skywalker.
But that was different because that was like it was Kylo Ren who did it, right? Or was it Rey?
Rey did it.
But
Rey did it, and then Kylo Ren revived Rey at the end because Rey dies.
and then Kylo Ren dies.
And then Kylo's like, nah, you take my life. And then Kylo sacrifices himself.
No, but who does the Force
But
healing?
he does get a kiss. Quick game for a quick kiss. Quick heal for a quick kiss. Kylo Ren edition.
I don't think that was like all of a sudden there's Force healing. I think it was like no Jedi has
Grogu?
ever been able to do it except for Rey.
Grogu Force healed someone in the episode of Mandalorian that came out on the same day as Rise of Skywalker.
Because they were like, now that we
first
can use
time-
it, yeah, let's fucking use this.
That was the first time we'd ever seen it in live action. Then in Rise of Skywalker, Rey heals that like basilisk creature,
Don't remember that, but
and
take
then
your word for it.
she stabs Kylo Ren later and heals his wound. Do you remember that?
So she heals him like 8 times in one movie?
She heals Kylo once, and
What
then
about the very end?
and then at the very end, Rey dies.
Oh, and Kylo
And
heals her.
Kylo gives all of his life force to
right.
her.
Right.
But
Okay.
anyways, this is about Obi-Wan. Overall, I thought, like, I remember when the first 2 episodes came out, and I was like, okay, like, this is good. It was honestly somewhat surreal, being like, seeing Ewan McGregor in a new show as Obi-Wan. It almost like the first couple episodes, it was kind of hard to like think about, oh, this is Obi-Wan again. And especially because we didn't have any lightsaber sequences with Obi-Wan in the first 2 episodes. So it was still kind of like, okay, what? And then when the 3rd episode happened, it was like, yo, like, this is sick.
Things are starting to pick up.
Or was it the 4th? Which episode was it where? I think it was the 3rd episode, right, where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fought for the first time.
Yeah, that was the 3rd episode.
Like, that episode was sick.
Yeah.
And there's a podcast called
O.S.I.
The
podcast.
Ringerverse, called the O.S.I. podcast. There's a podcast called like the Ringerverse, and they talk about nerd culture stuff. And I've kind of been put off by them recently because they're just so negative all the time, and I'm kind of sick of it. It was funny at first, but now it's just annoying.
Yeah.
And I turned on the episode or the podcast for episode 3 because after watching it, I was like, dude, there's no way no one would like that, because that episode was sick. Like, we got Darth Vader just being a menace,
Yeah.
bodying Obi-Wan. We got like the first fight that they'd had since Revenge of the Sith. Like, this is what we'd been waiting for. Like, this was the moment.
Yeah.
The podcast starts and the guy goes, Obi-Wan's washed. Turned the podcast off instantly.
What if he was joking though? What if he goes, I'm just joking?
But it isn't. Like, you have to. I've listened to enough of these guys talk about stuff where he was not kidding, and that was the discourse around that 3rd episode, which is, why is Obi-Wan so trash now? It's like, first of all, think easily. Guy hasn't used a lightsaber in 10 years.
He's been in hiding, man. Come on.
been in hiding.
10
He
years?
hasn't
You
been
do
doing
something you did
anything.
10 years ago without ever doing it.
If I go, like, I know that this is different. I picked the piano back up a couple years ago and was playing it consistently, and I got good again. And then I took like 3 months off and was ass again.
Dude, that's like if you
10
if you
years.
do anything if you don't do something for 10 years, of course you're going to be bad at it, bro.
Right.
Imagine if I didn't play fucking Call of Duty for 10 years, I'd be great
So
but I'd be
that's when I knew-
worse.
That's after hearing all the stuff around the 3rd episode. I was like, this show is in trouble because of the fan base, not because of how I thought about the show, because I thought the show was great the whole way through. I liked every single episode, and this is what I'm saying. Like, maybe I don't have taste, but I don't care. Like,
It's about entertainment at the end of the day. Were you entertained? Did you enjoy it? Yes. Then it was good.
And like, everything that people were complaining about was resolved in the finale, and just like thrown out the window. If you were complaining about Obi-Wan not knowing how to use a lightsaber, killed it in the finale.
Yeah.
Like, every aspect, like the finale of this show, and I know that it's different because it's like a Disney Plus Star Wars show, and there are other shows like Breaking Bad and stuff like that that are like really, really well written and well put together. And I'm not saying that Obi-Wan isn't well written, but it's a different genre. So
Yeah.
but this episode of TV is one of the most fun that I've had watching an episode of TV ever.
Yeah. Oh
it
man,
was just
like
such a blast. Like Darth Vader, like
it was a roller coaster.
we got Darth Vader exactly how we want Darth Vader now, which is an absolute menace badass.
Yeah.
And we got them fighting again. Like, I genuinely thought that they were not going to fight again after the third episode. I thought that was maybe going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got it again in the finale, I was like, oh shit, like this is
Sick.
this is it. This is even more what we wanted.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away. It had everything, man. It had the fight. You had cameos from Emperor Palpatine, which I always love. Ian McDiarmid, shout out. And then you close the show with, spoiler alert again, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Like, you got a hello there. You got everything.
I mean, also,
if you're sitting around, like, I know that people like to be critical about TV shows, and people especially like to be critical about Star Wars. But if your main goal is to sit there, and I'm sure that there are people nitpicking this finale, why would you want, like, why don't you just want to watch? And again, I know there are people's jobs who it is to be critical and
quit
and call out things that are wrong about certain whatevers. Quit. Fix your, like, find, just go on a soul searching mission. But if you're
be better than that,
if you're just like a fat loser on Twitter and all you do is complain about Star Wars, I'm begging you, go make a friend.
Go touch grass and be better than that.
But yeah, so I'm just saying, like, it was the same thing about Game of Thrones. It was the same thing about Game of Thrones season 8 when that came out, and every single episode after it aired, people were just shitting on the episodes, and I'm like, guys, like, this is the last of Game of Thrones. Obviously, of course, there are prequels and sequel shows and spinoffs, like Jon Snow spinoff just got, I guess, announced. I don't know if it's been officially announced, but it is likely happening. We have the Targaryen show coming out. But the whole time I was just thinking, like, this is the last season. Like, if it's not what we wanted, okay, but, like, can we not just sit here and have a certain level of appreciation for it? It's not like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. I never understood that take. And people who complained about Obi-Wan the whole way through, I'm like, I don't understand. You guys wanted this show for years and years and years and years.
Also, like, what else did they want out of it?
Right.
Like, what were they expecting it to be when Obi-Wan's this old man?
Right, exactly.
Who has been who has been literally a slave the last 10 years.
The problem with Star Wars fans is and this was also similar to Game of Thrones and similar to all these, like, nerd culture, Marvel, like, this is part of the reason why people shit on the Disney Plus shows as well, is that fans ruin these shows and movies for themselves.
Yeah.
Because they come up with these outlandish theories. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun with your theories. I come up with fun theories that don't come true all the time as well.
Yeah.
But when something doesn't come true, that doesn't mean that it was bad. And that's the take that a lot of people have on Star Wars, is they have all of these loser nerd keyboard warrior Twitter nerd incel loser fat Zuckerberger Williamsons who just, like, sweat Cheeto dust. I'm making fun of Star Wars fans, and it feels great. I'm letting all this out.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear you talk about this. There's a few,
but anyways, what I was saying is, like, just because your theory didn't come true doesn't mean that it was bad.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Just watch the finale because it was so spectacular.
Yeah, watch just the finale, even if you don't want to watch the whole series, bro. That finale was phenomenal.
But what did you think about the show in general?
Yeah, good.
Good. And moving on.
That finale was a tearjerker, dude. I won't admit. I won't admit it. I won't admit it, but I was getting emotional. Definitely.
Even just seeing, because, and again, like, I am actually attached to Star Wars, and Star Wars has played a meaningful role, and I know that is nerdy as hell, but, like, Star Wars is such a big part of my childhood, and
Yeah.
now even still, like I watch Star Wars movies every year. Like the moment of Anakin versus Obi-Wan is always just such a powerful moment, because like if you're genuinely attached to the characters, seeing that in Revenge of the Sith is like, my God, like this is it. Like this is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest moments in all of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Now that this is 17 years later, we're getting Ewan McGregor versus Hayden Christensen as Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in like an epic battle with the same level of emotion. It was incredible to watch again.
Yeah. There were a few things that I, through going through TikTok, thought were very, very interesting that I wanted to bring up, and I'm sure you may have saw them too. But the first thing was, this kind of ties in with your hatred of Star Wars fans, and I agree that they're stupid. But so I've seen a few things that were like, they're tying a few lines. There are a few callbacks, like when he says, "My friend is truly dead," and obviously that's a callback to like when Luke says, "Then my father is truly dead," right? Mm-hmm. Or like the hello there, or like just Darth Vader being half Anakin, half Darth Vader with like the mask, and him saying like, "Then you will die," or something, and then that cuts to, I want to say,
from Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah. When that happens. And I've seen some people are like, that's really cool. Like, but then I saw other people who were like, it's just lazy writing.
Just fan service.
No, idiot. No, man. They did it on purpose.
When people complain about fan service moments, I'm like,
what do you fucking want, man?
Like,
you want fan service or you don't?
I'm like, what do you mean bad fan service?
Yo, guys,
that's the point of fan service, is to make fans happy. If you get angry at fan service, you're not a fan.
Kill yourself.
Whoa. No, but seriously, if you get mad at a fan service moment, you're not a fan. Like it's that simple. If you sit there and go, "Oh, hello there. Of course he said that." Bro, you're not a fan.
Turn it off. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Well, yeah, it's like,
go watch Downton Abbey or something boring.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think people lose sight of the fact that movies and TV shows are here for entertainment, and if you're entertained, then you're entertained, and it did what it was meant to do. It doesn't always need to be this crazy, amazingly shot and perfectly thought out, and like did you have a good time watching it? Yes, then it did what it was meant to do, and fan service does that.
And these are also sci-fi movies, so it's not like sometimes people hold these movies and TV shows in the same expectation as these award-winning movies. And I would honestly argue that these movies are a lot more entertaining than those boring-ass award-winning movies. But again,
agree.
Someone like Martin Scorsese is not going to agree with me. But like,
Quentin Tarantino is overrated.
It's there's a different line when you're looking at these types of TV shows and movies, right? Like,
yeah.
Star Wars is there as like a sci-fi, totally like, this is fiction. This is made up. It's people swinging around laser swords, and it's cool as hell. And if you don't think it's cool, then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But don't ruin it for the rest of us. All this said, Obi-Wan was, for me, exactly when it's all said and done, it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I have not really any complaints about the show at all. I think that I would probably rate the show an 8.5 out of 10.
I'd agree.
I know that I said I don't have any complaints, but that doesn't mean that I would give it a 10 out of 10. It wasn't like earth shattering, like this is,
yeah.
But it was exactly what I wanted it to be. Entertaining for the whole way through. I thought, at first I was like, how are they going to do this with Princess Leia? And we're barely getting any Luke, but I think that in the long run, that was the right choice, because we get Luke, right? We get Luke, and it's interesting to see now the relationship that Obi-Wan and Princess Leia had, and sort of how that ties into A New Hope and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. So again, I thought that it was perfect for what it was. And there was, and if you are complaining about fan service, and if fan service is an issue for you, there really wasn't that much fan service. The only sort of fan servicey moments were in the finale, when you had Emperor Palpatine show up, you had Qui-Gon show up, you had the hello there moment. But other than that, like it was just fun. Like I thought the whole show was really fun.
Yeah. Second thing that I wanted to mention too, which I thought was really, really cool, was obviously you could tell something was going on with the lighting of the lightsabers when Anakin's face, or when Darth Vader's helmet is open. You can tell something's going on because sometimes it's blue and sometimes it's red. And I like the idea of him saying, when he says, "I'm not your failure. You didn't kill me. I killed me." I like the idea of like, because the blue was on his face. That was Anakin being like, listen, don't worry, bro. Don't feel guilty. This wasn't you. It was me. Something took over. It wasn't you that failed me. I failed myself, or something like that. And then it switches back to the red of it, be like, just like I will destroy you. It's like, I think Anakin peeked out for a bit and was like, Obi-Wan, don't feel sad, bro. It wasn't you.
But we know that Anakin is still in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was also really cool, the way that they did the blue and the red, and sort of like from the blue, and then it was red, and then when it turned to red, Obi-Wan's like, then my friend is truly dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like, yeah, because when I first watched that, I was like, oh, that's just like a badass line. Like, no, bro, you didn't do it. I did it. Don't take the credit. But then when I watched a TikTok, I was like, I really like the idea of that being Anakin being like, I'm peeking out for the one last time. Obi-Wan, please don't feel sad. Wasn't anything you did. It was me.
Yeah. Well, it was Anakin apologizing, but then it was Darth Vader taking credit. And I thought that it was Darth a really Vader, cool duality. Yeah. And it was also just, another cool moment of seeing Hayden Christensen as Anakin for one last time.
Or who knows? There could be a season 2.
Or who knows? And I hope that there is a season 2.
Yeah.
But if there is a season 2, it's almost like, would Vader be involved? I don't think Vader would be in season 2. Because at this point, the next time that these two see each other is when Darth Vader kills Obi-Wan in A New Hope. So Vader wouldn't necessarily be in season 2. But yeah, you said you rated an 8.5 as well?
Yeah, at 8.5 easily. Yeah, easily.
All right, well, I think we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to do the outro similar to what we did last week. But let us know your thoughts on Obi-Wan as well, if you liked it. If you didn't like it, again, if you didn't like it, that's fine. I don't got beef with you if you didn't like it. It's if you're an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole at the end of the day.
and that's the message of the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Easy message. Alrighty, guys. So thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. We really appreciate it. We want to hear your thoughts. As always, we love when you guys talk to us in person, or obviously comment down below if you want to. Let us know your thoughts on Obi-Wan. Let us know your thoughts on PlayStation Premium.
And as always, let us know if there's stuff that you want us to talk about on the next episode, on episodes to come. I know that people have been mentioning, having regular segments. We'd kind of have to figure out how that would work.
Yeah.
But again, like if there's games that you want us to play, we're open for anything. So just let us know. And yeah, thanks again for listening, guys.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.